So this is Nirbhay and welcome back to another video of AWS Basics to Advanced series. Okay, so in this video we're gonna see the complete setup of AWS NAT Gateway. Okay, where we will try to access internet by using a private EC2 instance with the help of a NAT gateway. Okay, so basically we're gonna set up a VPC and a public subnet, a private subnet, and a public route table and a private route table, internet gateway, and we will be creating a NAT gateway, and with the help of that we will try to access internet. Okay, so I have logged into my AWS account, and the first component that we need to create is a VPC, and before that we need to have a region. Okay, so I am in Mumbai region, you can select any, and secondary we need to create a VPC. So for that you can select the VPC if it is present on your screen, or either you can search for VPC. So let I open this. Okay, now you can click on this VPC, or from here also your VPC. Okay, so you can see there is only one VPC, so let me create one more by clicking on create VPC. So let I name it as demo VPC. Okay, so CADR block I will be choosing it as 13.00/16. Okay, so it will be 13.0.0/ okay, and I will be simply clicking on this create VPC. So now our VPC has been created. Okay, so what is a VPC? A VPC is your isolated private network inside AWS where you can run your cloud resources securely. Basically, it creates a kind of isolated network for you where you can deploy resources in that particular range. Okay, so we have created that VPC. Now we will be creating a public subnet and a private subnet. Okay, so let's understand what a subnet is. So our subnet is a smaller section inside a VPC where resources live. It divides the VPC IP range, and it can be public internet facing or private internal only. Okay, so let's see how we can create it. So again go to VPC, and in the left you can see subnet is there. So I will be clicking on this, then create subnet, and what VPC we need to select? So it will be our demo VPC. Okay, so now I need to provide the name to my subnet. Okay, so first subnet what we are creating, it will be our public subnet. Okay, so let I write it as public subnet. Okay, availability zone we can select any. Let I am selecting 1A. Okay, and here we need to provide the CADR block to our subnet. Okay, so what CADR block we want? 13.0.0/24. So I am taking a pause over here. So if you are someone who want to learn how the whole subnetting concept works, okay, so I have made a detailed video from very beginner to advanced level, so that I will be pinging in the above I section, and also I will be mentioning that playlist link in the description of this video. Okay, so I have provided this subnet CADR block for this public IP. I will simply hitting on this create subnet. Now our public subnet has been created. So similarly I will be creating a private subnet also. Okay, our VPC will be the same, and let I name it as private sub, and availability zone I can select any. Let's say again I am selecting 1A, and CADR range what I want to provide 13.0.1.0/24. 13.0.1.0/24. okay, I will be simply hitting on this create subnet. Okay, so now let me click on this clear filter. Okay, so if I select our VPC demo VPC only, so you can see our now two subnets has been created, that is public subnet and private subnet. So let I change it name to subnet. Okay, so our two subnets has been created. So now you will be having a doubt how we can denote a subnet to be a public subnet or a subnet to be a private subnet. Okay, because we have created both the subnet by following the same method only. Okay, so we can say a public subnet is a subnet that has a route to the internet through an internet gateway. Okay, so its key characteristics will include, like, it can have direct internet access allowed. Resources like EC2 instance in the public subnet can send or receive traffic from the internet if they have a public IP or a elastic IP or a route in the routing table pointing to the internet gateway. Okay, what can they use for? Web server, basin host, load balancers. Okay, whereas a private subnet is a subnet that does not have a direct route to the internet gateway. Okay, where there is no direct internet access, it can access the internet indirectly, that is via NAT gateway or a NAT instance in a public subnet. Okay, and instances in private subnet usually have a private IP only. Their uses will be for databases, application server, and backend services. and their route table would something look like. For subnet type public, for destination 000, their target will be internet gateway, and for subnet type private, for destination 000, their target will be NAT gateway. Getting confused? No problem. I will be explaining all the things as we go below. Okay, so till now we have created two subnet, that is public and private one. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to create an internet gateway and need to attach that internet gateway to our VPC. Okay, so that our VPC will have now internet access. Okay, so what is a internet gateway? It allows resources in a public subnet to connect to the internet and receive traffic from the internet. Okay, we can think it as a main door of your VPC to the internet. Like by using that door, our resources residing inside that VPC can access internet and go to the outside world. Okay, so let I again go to here, and I will be clicking on this internet gateway in the left side in the VPC only, internet gateway, and I will be clicking on this create internet gateway, and let I name it as demo IGW, create internet gateway. So now we have created internet gateway. Now what we need to do, we need to attach that internet gateway, okay, to what? To our VPC. So I will selecting this demo IGW action attach to VPC, to which VPC? Our demo VPC. I will simply hitting on this attach internet. Now we have attached our internet gateway to our VPC. So next section is we need to create a public route table and a private route table. Okay, so again I am going to VPC, and I will be clicking on this route tables and simply click on this create route table, and I will be naming it as public RT. VPC will be our demo VPC only. I will simply hitting on this create route table. Simply again I will be clicking on these route tables, and now I will be creating for private. So I will name it as private RT. Our VPC will be demo only, create route table. So we have created our public and a private route tables. Okay, so next step will be we need to associate public and private route tables to our public and private subnets. Okay, so what we need to do, select any public route table, let's say, and in subnet association click on this edit subnet association to public, what we want to associate to our public subnet. So I will be selecting that public subnet and save association. So now you can see in subnet association for public RT, our public subnet has been associated. Similarly we need to do for private also. I will be selecting private RT, subnet association, edit subnet association, private subnet, save association. So now in private RT, we will be having our private subnet associated to it. And the next step will be adding routes towards internet gateway in the public route table, so that any resources deployed in this public subnet will have internet access. Okay, so let's go to our again console and route tables. Let us select this public RT and go to routes and click on edit routes. You can see there is only one route available, that is for local. So we need to click on the add, and for what? For 00, our target will be internet gateway. Okay, as it is a public subnet, and we need to select on this save changes. So next step will be we need to add a route towards internet gateway in public route table, so that whenever we deploy some resources in public subnet, it will have internet access to it. Okay, so let's go to our console and select that public RT and go to routes and click on this edit routes. You will be seeing only one route is available. Okay, now click on add route. Our destination will be 000 because we want to reach out to the internet. Okay, target will be internet gateway, and we need to select the internet gateway that we have created, that was demo IGW, and simply hit on this save changes. Okay, so now our routes has been created towards internet gateway in the public route table. So what is a route table? A route table tells AWS where to send traffic network for resources in a subnet. Okay, whereas a route is a rule inside the route table which destination where you want to go and target how to reach or by using what you have to reach. Okay, so the next step will be we need to create a NAT gateway. Okay, so let's understand what a NAT gateway is. Okay, so a NAT gateway allows resources in private subnet to access the internet, example for updating its software, but blocks incoming traffic from the internet. Think of it as a one-way door, go outside but outsider can't come in, means we can go outside but outsider can't come in. Okay, so this thing it says. So now to create a NAT gateway, again go to our VPC, and here in the VPC section only you will be finding a NAT gateway option. So hit on that and click on the create NAT gateway. So let I name it as demo and subnet. So what subnet we need to select? So it should be public subnet. Why? Because our public subnet has routes toward the internet gateway. Okay, so I will be selecting public subnet, and connectivity type can be public or private. Okay, so if I keep it public, so then what will happen, like the resources deployed in my private subnet will be able to reach out to the internet. Okay, whereas if I select it private, what will happen, the resources can communicate with other subnet, or it can communicate within the VPC only. Okay, so that's the difference between public and private connectivity type. So I will be keeping public only. Okay. Now we need to allocate an elastic IP to it. So I will be simply hitting allocate elastic IP, so that by using this elastic IP, it can go to the internet. Okay. Now I will be simply hitting on this create NAT gateway. Okay. So our NAT gateway has been created. Now what we need to do? We need to add routes toward NAT in private route table. Okay. So go to our VPC and in route tables, select our private route table and go to routes and click on edit routes, and we need to add routes toward what? Towards NAT in private route table. Okay. So for destination 000, our target will be NAT. Okay, because we want to reach out to internet by using this NAT gateway, like from subnet to route table, and from route table to NAT gateway, and by using elastic IP we can reach out to the internet. So I will be selecting this NAT and clicking on this save changes. So now our routes has been successfully changed. Okay, so the next step will be, we need to create a public and private EC2 instances. Okay, so let I go here and search for EC2. I will be opening this in a new tab. Okay, so we need to click on this launch instance. Let I name it as public EC2, and I will be keeping this Amazon Linux EMI only with TT2 micro, and keep here I will be selecting the existing one, that is test key. If you want, you can create another one. In network setting, we need to deploy this into a public subnet. Okay, so what need to do? Click on this edit, and VPC I want in demo VPC, and subnet I want to be deployed in public subnet. Okay, as you can see, and automatic assign IP, as it is public EC2, so I will keeping it as enabled. And security group I can create a new one, let's say public SG, and in rule there is for SSH and for anywhere. Okay, so let it keep it simple only, and in advanced detail, so let it keep simple only, and just hit on this launch instance. So meanwhile this public EC2 instance is being created, so I can click on this instances. Now again click on launch instance. So now we will be creating our private EC2 instance. So let us name it as private EC2, and this will be again Amazon Linux EMI and T2.micro. Keep here I will be selecting that same only, and in network setting I will be hitting on this edit. I will be selecting demo VPC. Now I want to deploy it in private subnet. Okay, and I will be keeping its public IP to be disabled only. Okay, it will create new security group. Let I name it as private SG. Okay, description let it be anything. I will be simply hitting on this launch instance. Okay, so now our both instances are now getting created. Let I refresh it. Okay, so they are in initializing. So now the status check for my both instances has been passed. Okay, so let's connect our public EC2 instance. So I will selecting that, and it has this IP 13.0.0.142. I will be selecting that thing and click on this connect, and I will be opening in new tab. So what we need to do, we need to modify our key PEM with this command. Okay, so I have kept my key somewhere here. Okay, so I will be opening this directory by using git bash. So more option and open git bash here, because this is something that allows me to run Linux command directly. Okay, so if I do ll, so you can see the key is there, and here that write permission has been already removed. So if it is showing w, so you can run the command, this one, that will remove that w. Okay, so I have already removed that, so I will be using this command to take the access to my public EC2 instance. I will be simply pasting this and enter, and yes, so you can see now I am connected to my public EC2. which IP was 13.0.0.142, as you can see. Now suppose if I try to make telnet to this, so let I open command prompt and telnet to that IP over port 22. So you can see it is getting connected. Okay, so let I close this, or let I open one more. And similarly, if I open where I have taken the access, and if I try to ping www.google.com, so you can see I am getting the ping, means internet is working, means I am able to access internet by using public EC2 from inside to outside, and from outside also I am able to reach out to this public EC2 instance. Okay, so it is a two-way communication. Okay, whereas if I now try to telnet to this private EC2, let I copy this. Okay, again go to command prompt, and similarly I will be trying this telnet and IP and 22. So you can see it will never connect. Okay, because this is the IP that is not in the range. Okay, now we will be trying connecting to this private EC2 using this public EC2. Okay, for that what we need to do, again go to the instance where I have taken the access of the public EC2. Let I clear it. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to create a key with what name, with, let I right click on this connect and open a new tab for private one. Okay, so what key pair it has used, this only test key. Okay, so we need to create this file. So let I copy this and go to the where I have taken access to the public EC2, and I will be hitting this vi and file name. Okay, so what this will do, it will create this test key.pem file and it will open it. So here what we need to paste, we need to open this PAM key, let's say in notepad, edit in notepad. Okay, so it will give us key like this. So I am gonna simply copy this and go to the server we have taken the access, and I will be hitting I from my keyboard and simply paste. Okay, now I will be hitting escape colon WQ for save and quit and enter. So what I will do, I will simply run the cat command and that key file name so that I can see the content. So you can see the content is available. So let I clear it, and if I run ll, you can see I am having the right permission associated with my key. Okay, so I want to remove that. Okay, so I will simply copy this command and paste that. So what it will do, it will remove that right permission from my key file. Okay, if I do ll again, so you can see the right permission now has been removed. Okay, now I want to take SSH to the private EC2 instance, so I will minimize it and I will copy this command, that is SSH command. So it will take SSH to my private EC2 instance ending with 106. So simply I will copy it and I will go and paste this command. So it will take SSH to it and it will ask for yes or no. So let I say yes, and now you can see I have successfully connected to my private EC2 instance, that is with IP 13.0.1 and 106. So if I try to ping it again with www.google.com, and if I press enter, you can see the ping is working, means I am able to access the internet. Okay, so till now what we have seen, we are able to access to our public EC2 from outside of the internet. Okay, by using the telnet. Okay, also we are able to access the internet from that public EC2. Okay, so by this we can say it was two-way communication, but this was the not case with our private EC2 instance. Okay, so in private EC2 instance we were able to access the internet by using that ping command. Okay, but we were not able to access to a private EC2 by using that telnet. So we can say it is a one-way communication. Okay, so the connectivity for our private EC2 instance will flow something like from subnet, it will go to route table, and from route table it will reach out to routes, and by using that routes it will go to our NAT gateway, and our NAT gateway will be having an elastic IP associated to it. Okay, and as our NAT gateway was deployed in public subnet, so our public subnet was having access to it by using that internet gateway, so we can able to access the internet directly. Okay, so now hoping that you are now clear with the NAT gateway concept. If you still have any doubts, then feel free to comment in the comment section. Till now, bye bye.